3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome to this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. I am Dan, and you can find me on all forms of social media except for TikTok at RFSDan.
You can find you, but it's not like you actually use them. You can find me everywhere at Snowdogs Vlogs, and I actually use my social media sites. Just saying.
Yeah, congratulations on 100,000 subscribers for TikTok.
That's the dogs. The dogs did that.
That happened quick. How long did that take?
Not that long. I really don't even know how long it took, but not that long. I feel like maybe a couple months.
Yeah,
it
was this year.
Yeah, it was definitely this year.
Way to go. Do you get any kind of perks like in the app, or is it the same old interface?
They have me listed as a popular creator, so I don't know what that means. It's really funny because I use TikTok, but I still don't really understand it half the time.
Right.
So they have me listed as a popular creator.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's something. Not everybody gets that. And again, not me, the dogs.
That's kind of cool. Is there any other animals that are famous like your dogs?
There's actually quite a few. I follow quite a few different dog channels on TikTok. There's like a big fluffy Samoyed, and then there's Tucker the golden retriever, which is just like the cutest dog ever next to my dogs.
Well, here's the problem I have, and here's where I think you have the competitive edge over some of these other, what do you call yourselves? Like, what do you call the owner and then the dog and their entity? Is it like a dog actor, a dog-ality? I don't know. What do you call yourselves?
We're just
pet people?
My dog.
Okay, we'll call them pet people.
Yeah, like pet creators, pet influencers.
Okay, well, most pet creator or pet influencers' pets don't do anything. They just lay there like a lump. They're half sedated. Most of them are stuck in some sort of, what I like to hope not, but think is a stroke position. Like they've stroked out, and then that's how they are. There's this dog. It's like Bub the Pub or something like that, or some weird rhyming name, and his tongue don't work, and it just hangs out, and it looks like there's like a handler that just walks around with a sponge to hydrate his tongue, and it doesn't move. And then there's that grumpy cat thing where I swear they're doing some sort of Mr. Ed trick with him, and they're like pulling like little like pieces of floss down to make his mouth sad. They just don't do anything. Where your dogs actually do stuff.
I do agree with that. I feel like there is in the pet influencer world. This is funny that you're saying this. I did an interview on the Pet Insider podcast about Gone to the Snow Dogs, and this was one of the things we talked about. The difference between what we do and what a lot of them do is the fact that I think my dogs are just dogs. Like, and I try to show them as who they are and their personalities.
Right.
It's not that I don't every once in a while put cute little holiday collars on them or a cute little hat on them or sunglasses on them and take a picture, but I don't try to make them into something they're not. You know, I try to use their actual personalities that they actually have, and I try to play off of that with them.
Yeah, I think
that's why it works.
I think it conveys better with you because you do it that way, whereas a lot of the other ones look like their animals are playing dress up. But they just don't do anything. You never see them move. They just sit on some sort of pillow at these meet and greets, and it's just there, and I couldn't figure out, well, who was that animal that we saw at VidCon? It was a famous dog, and you were all stoked on it.
Swaggy.
What is Swaggy? What kind of dog was that?
Was it Swaggy or was it... No, Doug the Pug was at VidCon.
Was that Doug the Pug that we were messing with?
Was it?
I don't think so. I think it was. You were super excited about whichever guy this was. I think it was Dub the Bub or whatever you called it, and it didn't do anything. I don't know if it was alive or it was like Weekend at Bernie's, where the dude had his hand Jeff Dunham style like a puppet. I don't know what was going on with that thing.
A lot of the pet influencers, the bigger pet influencers, are small dogs. And small dogs, a lot of them their whole purpose is to be a companion animal. Like, that's their whole purpose.
And not do anything?
Well, they're just there to be your companion. Like, that's actually their jobs most of the time. I mean, some of them have like different jobs that they were bred to do, but they've kind of fallen into these companion pet roles as small dogs, where my dogs were bred to be working dogs, and they actually have a lot of that in them still, where they need to be active and be dogs and do dog things.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's just it's a different thing. I have a lot of friends in this in the pet creator world that do a lot of different things with their pets, and yeah, it's interesting to see how they do it versus how we do it. That was one of the things when we went to PetCon in New York that I really realized was how different what I do is versus what everybody else does.
Yes, I feel like you have dogs. I feel like some of the other people have like toddlers in tiaras, and their dog is put on display, and that's it.
And
It's like a display piece. Which there's nothing wrong. I don't like that's not what my point was. My point was that they just don't do much, so your animals are going to be more popular, in my opinion, on TikTok.
And it's not like, it's not like you're saying, there's nothing wrong with it, and they still love their animals just as much as I love mine, but it's a different type of, it's just a different style, I guess.
Yeah, so you don't have much competition then for the pet vertical on TikTok?
There's some pretty big pet channels on TikTok. I mean, there's some huge channels, so there's definitely some of them out there.
Yeah,
some of them do more scripted type videos. Some of them do videos where they're pretending like their dogs are talking. They're feeding them stuff and they're captioning the dogs so that you can really see their thoughts, which is something I did years ago on YouTube and kind of stepped away from it just because I got really busy, and that's very time consuming. And I've always wanted to kind of get back into it, and I have some plans for some videos to do that with on TikTok. So.
Oh, that'll be cool. So you're still growing it.
Oh, yeah. I'm still having fun with it. TikTok for me is like just a carefree creative freedom thing. It's not monetized in any way right now, so I'm not worried about who I've got to make happy for advertisers or blah, 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 blah. We don't have any sponsors for it yet, so I don't have to worry about that. I just make TikToks if I see one that I want to replicate with my dogs, I try it. If I see one that somebody else did with their pets and they're like, everybody try this, I try it. If there's a hashtag like, what was it? This week's hashtag for pets was hashtag puppy love. Mm-hmm. So I did a cute little video for the song everybody was using for puppy love. Like, I just have fun with it.
That's cool.
I don't know why I enjoy it so much. I think I like it because I feel like there's just a creative freedom to it.
Well, your creative freedom brought all the subs to the yard, so good job.
Yay!
So Game of Thrones is coming soon, and I don't think you watch Game of Thrones, do you?
I was told in the very first episode of Game of Thrones that there's a person that might be a dude, and there might be a part of his manhood that gets chopped off, and that I have no, I don't watch it because Greg told me that happened in the first episode of the first season, and I looked at him and I went, I don't want to watch that.
Well, it did happen,
he started telling me all these other gory, weird things, and I went, why the heck does anybody watch that? I don't want to watch that.
Fair enough. So Game of Thrones is coming to town. It's big, and it's on HBO, so it's time to activate the 14-day free trial of HBO. So I do that, and I put on Jurassic World. And I don't know, are you familiar with any of the Jurassic Park movies, like the newer versions of them?
Yeah.
Did you see that one, the Jurassic World?
I haven't. Is that the newest one?
I can't tell. It's Chris Pratt.
Yes.
And the little...
And Blue, the raptor named Blue.
Yes, Blue's there. Yeah. And little Opie Cunningham's daughter, whatever her name is, Dyson Howard, or whatever her name is, Bryce Howard. And Jeff Goldblum's, of course, in it. So I'm watching this movie, and I liked the first one. I thought it was good. And I'm watching this one, and... at some point, they're in one of those pods. You know that little pod that just kind of rolls around on the ground and you look like you're a hamster in? So one of these pods falls in the water, and Chris Pratt has to go down into the water and fetch him. Whenever I watch movies of people that go underwater, I always try to kind of hold my breath, too, to see how it balances out. He's like, take a breath, and everybody takes a breath, and they hold their breath for I think I exhaled and inhaled 3 more times before they were up to the surface, and I was so mad. I don't care that they brought back dinosaurs with dino DNA. I'm mad that people don't hold their breaths accurately enough in film. I'm seriously, wait till you watch it. Wait till you watch it. You'll be up in arms like me. People.
Now when I watch it again, that's all I'm going to think about. Now every time I see a movie where people are holding their breath, I'm going to be like, dang it.
Yes.
Now I'm going to think about that.
Yes, hold your breath with them. Hold your breath with them, and you'll see. That movie was all right. Other than that, it was okay. The dinosaurs were kind of neat, making dinosaur
Are you watching?
noise.
So you have a trial version of HBO?
Yeah, I'll keep it through Game of Thrones.
Are you watching the show about Gypsy Blanchard? Are you watching it?
No, is that on HBO?
Oh my gosh, you have to watch it, and Crystal needs to watch it. I think it's called The Act.
It's called Act?
I think it's called The Act. I don't know. Just look up Gypsy Rose.
Is it a murder show?
Yeah, it is. It's a murder show about this woman who has Munchhausen by proxy. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yes. I think...
The girl was on Dr. Phil.
I watched the real documentary on that just the other day. Crystal showed me it just the other day. And then they made a television show about it.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I've been watching.
Okay,
that.
and that's on HBO.
I think so.
Oh, as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna watch that because that was so crazy. That girl was so crazy.
It sucked me in. So I've already watched because only I think the first 3 episodes are out now, and I've already watched them 3 times.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
even kidding. Like when Making a Murderer came out, I probably watched that 15 times.
Like over
I
and
know,
over again.
over and over and over
Really?
again. I
You're
probably
weird.
know. I don't know why, but I do. But I watched this thing on Gypsy Rose, and then I turned it on, and I told Jamie, I'm like, don't watch this. And he's like, what? I'm like, you're not going to like it. Don't watch it, but you have to watch this.
Yeah.
So we did the same thing. We watched the full documentary, and he couldn't fall asleep either. Like, it was really late. We probably shouldn't have watched the full 2-hour documentary when we did that one. And he's like, this is crazy. I'm like, right? And then you get to the end of it, and you're like, is she crazy? Should she be in prison?
Right.
Did she? I mean,
Or is it the perfect crime?
right? Like, it's so mind blown.
Yeah. Crystal wants to watch that. Well, she wants to watch anything that has murder into it. So after this, maybe we'll watch it.
I think I'm going to finally finish watching season 2 of Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, that was okay. Season 1 was good. Season 2 is all right, but you'll be done just in time for season 3 to come around, which I'm excited for. I've managed to stay away from all the spoilers and all the things. I have not watched the trailer. I just been staying away from it, and I just want it to be like ready, set, watch.
Yep. That's pretty much where we're at. I'm like, okay. It took us a long time to watch season 2. I think we've only got 2 episodes left, which we probably will watch tonight.
I found it kind of boring. I found it kind of strung out. But I realized that they have a bigger picture. I realized that this is just going to be a small drop because season 2 of The Walking Dead sucked, and I'm willing to kind of forget that because there were some good seasons built around it. But boy, was that a tough year of Walking Dead, and I feel like season 2 of Stranger Things was the same.
See, I don't watch Walking Dead either.
I did for a while, and it was good until it was rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. How many times are you gonna yell Carl, Carl? And it's just, oh man. And then I watched
and it's all the way over there where the zombies are.
No. So I watched a few seasons of that and I got bored, and then just the other day I was like, oh, I wonder what happened, and I watched some guy's catch-up video on The Walking Dead, and I caught up, and I don't feel like I missed much of anything. They just all need a shower.
Yeah, no, that I'm not a Walking Dead fan, not a Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah, so you're gonna be pretty bored this summer while we're all talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no, I'll be camping. I'll be playing outside.
Yeah, that's right. It's gonna be camping season for you.
Yeah, we usually deactivate a lot of our TV stuff in the summertime because we just don't watch it. We just don't have time. We're so busy doing other things. It's like, all right, well, let's get back to doing stuff and things.
Sticks and mud. Maybe this year you'll try to catch some fireflies and mail them to me because I still don't believe they exist.
You could just, come out and visit.
Yeah, but you could also just mail them to me.
No, you and Crystal need to come out here and visit.
That'd be nice. I would try to take some back with me, and they'd probably die.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd let you take them on the plane. You could say that they're your emotional support insect.
Yeah, I'll print out a little banner or something like that and wrap it around them like a leash. So if I do see a glow bug, what do you call them? A glow bug?
Lightning bugs.
Yeah, if I do see one of those, do they really shine bright like you see on TV?
Yeah.
So cool. What makes them do that? Is it like a mini light bulb?
I couldn't tell you. I'm sure Jamie knows what makes them work. I have no idea what makes them work, but I do know that when we were little kids, and if you squished them, because they're bugs, you shouldn't do it because it's sad.
Right.
If you squish them, whatever you squish them on continues to glow.
Oh, cool. I had that happen to me once.
It's like made out of the same stuff that's in glow sticks. I don't really know if that's true, but
it could be. Maybe they just extract it from them and then put it into our glow sticks.
Maybe. Ew, that's horrible. I picture like this lightning bug farm.
Yeah, it's like they're giving blood. They just give like their plasma.
No, that's horrible.
So this one time we were on our way to a rave, and Crystal and her friend Nanda were in the front seat, and I was in the back seat of the car. And I think it might have been one of my first raves, and I was sitting back there, and I had all my stuff on, and I had a glow stick, and I was just messing with the glow stick, and I was flexing it, and I flexed it too hard, and it exploded all over my face, all over the car, all over the roof of the car, all over my shirt. It was dark in there. It was in my eyes, and when you turn around and look back, it looked like a crime scene of glow stick all over my face, all over. So I glowed that whole night.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I glowed, and it stains too. It doesn't come out.
Oh God.
It stains. So yeah, maybe that's why I'm weird. It's like, did you eat glow chips when you were a kid? And it's like, maybe so.
Maybe ingested a little bit of that.
So you drinking tea today?
I am.
What you got today?
I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's
make up a name.
Well, no, I don't remember like the brand, but it's citrus mint tea.
I haven't had mint tea.
Oh, I love mint tea.
Is it just like
mint?
It says, just like really super minty?
It's super minty. It's got mint, it's got spearmint and lemongrass and something else citrusy, I guess.
Huh.
Wait, lemon citrusy, so I guess that would be the citrusy part of it is the lemons. But it's iced tea, of course, because hot tea gives you cancer. We talked about that last week.
Yeah. Thanks.
But yeah, it's actually really good. And what's funny is I made it right before we got ready to podcast. And I told Jamie, I'm like, it's mint tea. And he's going, I can taste it. I'm like, you haven't even tried it. He's like, I can smell it. I can taste how minty that is.
No thanks.
I'm like, oh, I like it. But I like mint water too. So
I'm willing to try it, but that seems like, I don't know, it seems like it would taste like you just squoze a bunch of icy hot into some water.
No, more like if you what's that gum, Juicy Fruit? Is that the minty one?
No, it's
some type of mint gum.
Big Red. What? Oh, we're gonna get it. It starts with a W and it's got the trees on it.
Wrigley's.
Yes, it's Wrigley's gum.
Yeah, it's like that in tea.
Ew. I'll try it, but ew.
I think it's Tavana.
I just got some of that today when I was at the store. I bought some peach stuff. I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, it's in that like plastic little thing.
That's what it is.
That's like the Tivana stuff. So I have not tried it yet, but I did get some peach stuff today.
I don't like peach flavor.
I'm getting used to it. I feel like I get used to all the flavors. I'll get a flavor I don't like, and then after the second cup, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Because remember, I make 40 cups, my new tea machine.
Yeah, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. So this week I have Island Red Rooibos, Rooibos. That's for all you grammar people out there. I don't know what it's called, but it tastes like cinnamony, spicy. I'm not sure how to describe it because all these flavors are new, but it's kind of like cinnamony. It's pretty good. And this one is from One Love Tea, which is local in California here. It's in Lake Forest, so it's like within like an hour from here. So I have that, and that's pretty good. It's nighttime tea since it's nighttime.
Oh, I don't think I have any nighttime teas. I have caffeine-free tea, but I don't think I have any. Oh, yes, I do. When Jamie was sick last week, or whatever week that was, I bought some chamomile tea.
Ooh, how's he feeling? Is he all done being sick now?
He was doing pretty good until 2 days ago when he decided it would be fun to crack a rib.
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
Why? What's he doing? Too much, it sounds like.
Yeah, too much. So it was kind of my fault. We were standing down here in the basement, and I had been painting. And, you know, when you're painting and you're getting up and down and off a ladder and you're bending down and, you know, you're old like we are, it hurts your back and it hurts your shoulders. And, like, my back was just really tense and I needed to pop my back. And I'm like, can you please just crack my back? And he's like, yeah. So he, you know, he's way taller than me. So he wraps his arms around me and he went to pick me up. And when he first went to pick me up, I don't know, he was standing funny and, like, his sternum, like, popped. And he's like, whoa, hold on a second. So he sets me down and he backs up a little bit and he puts his arms around me again. And when he picked me up to crack my back, honest to God, I heard it. I swear it sounded like a stick breaking. I heard a snap and he just hit the ground like instantaneously. And I'm standing there going, what the heck just happened? And he's holding his side and I'm like, did you just crack a rib? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, how did that even happen? Well, he was like standing in between where the carpet and the hard floor is in the basement. There's like a little lip and he was standing on that. So when he picked me up, his feet weren't flat. So when he went to crack my back, he like leaned funny and he thought his shoulder was going to get dislocated. So he just shifted wrong. And I don't know. We make the joke that he cracked a rib. We're actually not sure if he cracked it or fractured it or if it's just the stuff in between his ribs is pulled. He thinks that might be what it is. Like, but I swear I heard it. I swear that's where that noise came from. Dang. So he did like that night he was feeling okay. He still has a little bit of cough from his cold, so that's killing him. The next morning when he got up, it was pretty rough. And now it's been today's day 3, and today was pretty rough. He's feeling it. So it might be cracked. It might just be we're hoping it's just the muscles, because it'll feel, it'll heal faster.
Right.
If it is actually cracked, it's like 6 to 8 weeks for that to heal.
Dang, you broke him.
I know. I feel bad.
Yeah.
And like now he's like, even if it's the muscle or a cracked rib, he shouldn't be lifting anything.
Right. That's hard to breathe.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So Jamie had pneumonia. This was a couple years ago. He had got pneumonia, and he's got some, like, he seems to get it easier than other people. I don't remember what he called it, but he was saying that too. He's like, now I got to make sure that I'm breathing in deep, because because it hurts when he breathes in deep. He's like, but I got to make sure I'm doing it, because if I don't, I could get pneumonia. And because he has this cold, like this lingering end of this cold, and he's coughing, he's worried about that. And I'm like, we have all these trips we have to go on. I feel so bad. We have to go to Grand Rapids next weekend, and then we're going to Canada. And I'm like, you're going to be hurting. I hope the beds at the hotels are comfortable.
Oh, that's going to be no good.
It's going to be hard. Even today he was driving, and he's like, driving is very uncomfortable. I'm like, I can drive us to Canada, I can drive us to Grand Rapids. I'm like, you can lay down in the back with the dogs, like whatever makes you the most comfortable, do that. Like,
till they step on you.
I'm hoping that by like next week that it's not hurting so bad. But it's the same thing. It's like we're doing a lot of work on the house right now, and spring is here, so all the snow is melting and all the outside stuff needs to be done, and it's like you shouldn't be lifting anything. He did put the door on that goes between our dining room and our landing today, and that was kind of hard. And he did take the toilet off in the small bathroom so that I could paint it. And
so basically he's not resting at all then.
No, not really.
Yeah, that's not. You're good. He's just going to keep breaking. I hurt my rib once. I have no idea to what degree, but it sucked on all levels for like a bunch of weeks. And then all of a sudden one day it was good again. Yeah,
that's we were kind of looking at it like, should we go to the doctor? Should we not go to the doctor? Because, we pay for health insurance, and we pay a stupid amount of money for health insurance. So might as well use it, right? Well, we got online and we kind of looked, and even if it's a cracked rib, if it's a fractured rib, or if it's a pulled muscle, there's literally nothing they will do.
Yeah.
They're going to look at you and go, don't lift anything, take some painkillers.
Right, pretty much.
And ice. So he's been using it's funny because you said that about the tea. He's been using Icy Hot because it's actually been helping. And he's been taking ibuprofen, but you can't take tons of that stuff either. So he's been trying to only take it when he absolutely has to. But so I don't know if he actually cracked a rib or not. I haven't even talked about it in a vlog yet. We haven't even told the story in a vlog yet.
What's the clickbait going to be on that title? Like,
Jamie cracked a rib.
And then you need him to lay down, and then like just kind of Photoshop it on the stretcher, kind of like maybe he 911 out of there or something.
We can recreate it, crack the other one.
Right? Crack. And it could be broccoli. Do you have like that broccoli sound effect? Like, get well soon, Jamie. So in YouTube news, because that's what we do here every week lately, I want to talk to you this week about David Dobrik, our beloved David Dobrik, who has lately been my favorite podcaster. I don't know where he ranks with you, but he's the one that I wait for his videos to upload every day.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big David Dobrik fan. He just makes me laugh. Like, I can't, the whole 4 minutes I laugh. Like, some of the stuff is so, like, I don't know, so out there. But I laugh, and I love it. I love that I laugh that hard.
And it works. And like we've talked about before, other people try to imitate his style, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
Who's your favorite person, not David, but who's your favorite person on that show besides him?
It's really silly. I like Jason.
Yes, me too. That's what I was going to say too.
Yeah, I like Jason Nash. I subscribe to his channel as well. His channel is definitely not like David's, at all.
No.
But he's got his own style. But I really do. I like watching Jason.
I'll watch his channel. It's like a more blown out amateur hour version of what goes on there. So I do watch his stuff as like supplement. But my question to you.
Want Joe from the Teeny Weeny podcast?
No, I don't like Joe from the Teeny Weeny podcast. I think I texted you. Did I text you, or did I call you on the phone to complain about that one day?
remember.
I do
But yeah.
not like Joe on the Teeny Weeny podcast. It's the worst part about the David Dobrik podcast, and it makes me frustrated every time he's on there because it's like that's not what I want, and it's not funny. This he's not funny. Look at me go. I like everything else but that, and he's probably a pretty cool guy. But no, I do not want to listen to anything about him or his Teeny Weeny podcast. Thank you. You got me all riled up now. I do like Jason's stuff though. His stuff's good. But if somebody asked you what kind of age demographic is appropriate to watch his videos, what would you think?
18 and up.
Right, because he has adult entertainers in his videos.
Yeah.
So why did David Dobrik get nominated and win a Kids' Choice Award by Nickelodeon?
Because even though we think it should be 18 and over, there are definitely kids that watch.
I don't get it. He won he won favorite social star.
Yeah.
I don't.
And
get
did you watch the video where like he was talking about? Well, I'm sure you watched the video where he went and won it.
Right, I did.
But he was talking to Josh about the Kids' Choice Awards and all that stuff, and that he was such a fan, and like it was just so cool to see. Like that was one of his things that he always thought would be cool, and then he won it.
Yes, I did see it. It was a video 2 years ago that him and Josh did together, when Josh was showing him his Teen Choice Awards or his Kids' Choice Awards, and he's like, "I'm gonna win one, or I want one of those," and then he got one, which was pretty cool. Here's who he was up against, though. He was up against Ryan's Toy Review. He was
really?
Yes, he was up against Miranda Sings, who's super popular, but I don't know if she's popular lately.
Right.
Lily Signs.
Superwoman.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Guava Juice, who kind of makes me laugh sometimes. I don't mind his stuff. His content's funny. I didn't realize who it was until I Googled him, and I was like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Right.
Emma Chamberlain, and she was, I don't know, she almost looked like kind of like a vlogger, but it was more scripted. So David Dobrik, and he beat all of them.
That's crazy.
Especially the Toy Review channel.
I didn't know that that's who he was up against, but the fact that he beat out Ryan's Toy Reviews.
Yes.
That's kind of crazy.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too, with his inappropriate content.
Yeah, he is definitely not. He's NC-17.
Yes, and he is my favorite YouTuber. I'm not like mad about this at all. I'm just like, holy cow, this is what it's come to. This is who iCarly was up against back in the day. Like, I just yeah. So that baffled me. Why? Nobody questioned why. I tried to Google it, and nobody had a problem with it. Everybody was stoked. Everybody, I watched 3 different videos of him being there, from Jason and from Josh, who also has a channel which is not quite like David's. And,
yeah, I'm on Josh's channel as well.
And I just thought it was odd that nobody questioned like his stuff and his content.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it until you brought it up. Like it wasn't something that I'm like, oh, I watched the video, I saw him win the Kids' Choice Award. I didn't even think about the fact that it was a Kids' Choice Award it's a Kids' Choice.
From like, Nickelodeon.
So like you would think that the average age of viewers on Nickelodeon are probably like between 12 and probably 18, I would assume.
At max. I think it's there's like Rugrats and like Nickelodeon had stuff for young kids, and they
also had stuff for teenagers. They had the Saturday Night Snick.
Oh, Snick was good.
Remember Snick?
Yeah, I remember Snick. And then they had so then even like all that, and those shows were kind of teeny. Like when I say teeny, I mean teenish, but
right.
Nothing was inappropriate or even close to being edgy. And even if they wanted to be edgy, this is way further than edgy.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude was in his car the other day just smoking up the whole car.
Yeah, he definitely was. I just looked up some statistics for Nickelodeon for 2018, and it doesn't have the statistics for children because you can't keep that information.
Yeah, we learned that doesn't work out so well.
But this might be why he won. It says that of all the people that did this poll thing, which I think it's that whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called, the TV one they do.
Right.
28% of the people that responded that watched were between the ages of 18 to 29, and 23% were between the ages of 30 to 50.
Yeah, but that seems inaccurate to me, because if you're under 18, you cannot take this poll. You can't, you have to have some sort of consent to be able to like give your information out.
That's what I'm saying. These were people that responded that were 18 to 29 and then 30 to 49. So that were people that were able to respond.
Right. But
so
what
that's
about
just
that?
a percentage like of of all the TV they watched, like that's the percentage of that they were watching, which is
does that mean all that other percentage goes at people under 18, which is the majority?
probably. They can't ask those people.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not bagging on him or anything, but that
Right.
audience was young when I was watching videos of him getting slimed, which looks like fun, by the way.
Yeah, that does kind of look like, you could have done that at VidCon.
That's right. They were sliming people at VidCon, but they were making you put on like all this protective gear, so it's like you were like in another plastic bubble.
Right.
Why didn't we get slimed at VidCon? We had that conversation because we didn't want to walk around all slimed up, huh?
Yep. Nope. I didn't want to walk around
because it was still getting all over your face.
I had no interest in that. If it's there again this year, you should totally do it towards the end of the day.
Okay, if it is there, because it was been there the last few years, and it was over off to the side by the Double Dare course. Because when we were there last year, Liza Koshy had her Double Dare thing that she was doing. Yep. And they had that course that was there, and I know there was some slime stuff going on there.
Yeah, you should definitely do it.
Oh, wait, do you think they recycle the slime, or do you think they put fresh slime in there every time?
Oh, no, I'm sure it's recycled.
Oh,
it's
yuck.
Boogers and snot.
Oh, it's already made of boogers and snot.
Right? Totally be worth it.
So let us know what you think about this David Dobrik thing. Am I wrong? Maybe it's just not that big of a deal. Maybe I'm just old school and what's inappropriate is appropriate. Or let me know if you think like I think. And that is kind of odd that he beat out people like Miranda Scenes or Ryan's Toy Reviews for a Kids' Choice Awards. Maybe I should change my content.
You should change your content. Maybe, I mean, yeah, but then you'd have to like make content.
Ooh, ouch. What a dig to end this segment.
Let us know. We want to know your opinion. Is David Dobrik too over the top to have a Kids' Choice Award?
Listen to you try to save it. Beep. When I'm recording the podcast, I can see the audio levels, the little squiggles that are up and down. Yeah. And when you laugh, I can tell when I edit the podcast where your laughs are because they look like Christmas trees. It's like a little line, a bigger line, a bigger line, a bigger line, a little line, little line, little line. They just look like little mini Christmas trees, and they're so consistent every time you laugh. I should take a little screenshot of the squiggles.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, every time I'm like, oh, here comes.
Grocery store. I don't know. Yeah, I was in the grocery store the other day, and I was talking to a friend of mine in the back, and I was laughing, and my mom walked up behind me in the grocery store, and I'm like, what are you doing here? She's like, I knew you were back here. I'm like, how did you know? She's like, I could hear you laughing all the way up front. I'm like, dang it.
Oh, yeah, that thing pierces.
I don't know. I can't help it.
You have such a polarizing voice. People either love it or
hate it.
Hate it to the point where they like need to like express it in the words on your page. Holy cow. Yeah.
And then I get a lot of comments from people that they're like, I love your laugh. And I'm like, okay, so the reality of it is like, I hate it, but I have no control over it.
It's just you.
I don't think I can fake laugh. Like, I don't think I can like, if it doesn't make me like, there's no fakeness to that. It is.
Do your parents laugh like that?
My mom does.
Just like you?
Nah, not just like me. It's definitely not just like me. I mean, my mom and dad, but I don't know. We were always seemed like happy people, I guess.
Yeah. Well, when she was on the podcast, unknowingly, how did she react to that? By the way,
she liked it. She shares our stuff all the time. Like she shared the YouTube thing when I said we had a YouTube channel. She shared that the other day. My mom and dad love everything I do.
That's good. When she was on the podcast, though, she did sound a lot like you. Remember, I was calling her Future Jess.
Yeah. I definitely know exactly what I'm going to be like when I get old. I just hope I don't have her knees.
Ooh, I don't know.
She's got a nickel knee. I do have allergies to metals. She couldn't have whatever the normal knee is made out of. She couldn't have because she's allergic to that.
Oh, and you'll be allergic to metal as well?
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
there's a lot of metals. That's why I can't wear earrings.
Right, I don't see you as an earring wearer anyway.
Yeah, I got my ears pierced.
Do you have ears, or do you have those earlobes that are like stuck to your head?
I don't know. I'd have to look in the mirror.
You have tiny ears.
Yeah, I have tiny everything.
How you hear?
I don't know.
It's cool. I was gonna say if your knees are bad, you can just have Jamie carry you around, but that's not in the cards. That's not in the cards. So a few weeks ago on our Facebook wall, I posted that you could leave us a voicemail on speakpipe.com/ccmousepodcast, and we have one this week. Yay! So let's play it now. This is from Allie. They don't really give you an option to like leave more bio about you, but this is from Allie, and let's hear what she has to say.
Hi Dan, hi Jess. Just wondering, what your favourite TV shows are at the moment. Thank you.
Ooh, that was neat.
That was really cool.
Yeah. So thank you, Allie. What are you watching lately?
This is gonna sound really crazy, but right now I'm honestly stuck on Shark Tank and The Prophet.
Both of those being the same style shows, right?
No, kind of. Shark Tank is the one where the people come with the ideas to the show, and then the sharks all fight over whether or not they're gonna buy into their idea.
I love Shark Tank.
Yeah, and then The Prophet is where the guy comes into failing businesses and tries to save them.
Ah, okay, kind of like Bar Rescue.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of concept because he does buy into their companies. So he's like, I'll give you $500,000 to save your company, but I get 20% and I get all the say from here on out.
Right.
And he comes in and he like tries to save these companies. And I don't know, I really like watching The Prophet because I like it when he goes into these businesses and he's like, oh yeah, we can fix this. And then it turns out like, oh, you didn't tell me that you have a boat. Oh, you didn't tell me that you're $500,000 in debt. Yes. Oh, you didn't tell me that you have all of these orders that you haven't filled because you have no money. Oh, well. And sometimes he does have to take his money back and walk away. And sometimes he loses money on the deals. I don't know why I always have enjoyed shows like that, but right now, I'm really, really into. I watch Shark Tank almost every night when I go to bed.
Like old reruns just from season 1?
Yeah, I started it over from season 1 because you can watch it all the way through on Hulu. So I started it over on season 1, and it's really fun because it started so long ago to actually look up some of those companies and see if they still exist or what happened to them, especially the ones that got turned down. Like, are they still a company? Can I buy that thing still?
Can I buy that sponge or the Squatty Potty?
Right? I want to buy the squirrel. What was it? Squirrel nut butter? Squirrel nut butter?
What's that?
It's peanut butter that these kids like designed in their college class, but they have a coconut, chocolate coconut
I
peanut
remember
butter.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
They are. I went to their website the other day and I almost ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and then I had to stop myself because I had like $60 worth of peanut butter.
Holy cow! In your cart, you just empty the cart.
I'm like, oh, okay, let's rethink this. And then last night, that episode was on TV I was watching, and I did the same thing. I'm like, I really need to order some of this peanut butter, but I don't really need peanut butter right now.
Right, you don't need $60 worth of peanut butter. That's a whole peanut tree's worth of peanut butter.
Yeah. But I really want to try it because it looks amazing. That is the one downfall to Shark Tank. Every time I see something cool, I'm like, what is that?
There should be a subscription model to Shark Tank where you subscribe to it and then you get like the item per episode. You'll just like get the item. You can pick like one item per episode.
That would be so cool.
That would be so cool.
That's where I found my Spirit Hoods.
Through Shark Tank?
Yeah, that's how I found out about Spirit Hoods. They were on Shark Tank. They did not land a deal, but I saw them. I saw them on Shark Tank, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have one. Jamie bought me my first one for Christmas, and then I started buying more, and then I reached out to them, and I'm like, hey. So I started working with them for a little while, and we had a good partnership going on until one of the co-owners left the company. Lots of things have changed there. They're still a really great company. I just don't work with them as much anymore. But yeah, I actually found Spirit Hoods through Shark Tank.
Oh, that's really cool. I know a lot of those, even if you don't get picked up, just having that exposure really makes some of those brands successful.
Oh, yeah, getting your name out there.
That's cool. I might have to add that back to my list. It's been a little while since I've seen that. Do you have a favorite Shark Tank guy?
I like Robert.
Yeah?
Robert Hershbeck.
He's interesting.
He's probably my favorite. I feel like he's, out of everybody up there, like he's got the most compassion for people. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like that he's not mean to people. And even when he is honest with people, he's so caring.
You know, that is true.
Yeah. And I really like that. I like that he seems like such a genuine person.
What about the QVC lady, the one or the Home Shopping Network lady?
She seems nice, but I still like Robert.
I always like Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban is, he's kind of full of himself.
Yes, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I think that's why he's not my favorite, is I just feel like he's just too full of himself.
He kind of is.
I mean, he has every right to be. He's a billionaire.
Right.
But no, Robert's my favorite shark on Shark Tank.
I like them. That's a good answer.
Yeah. What are you watching?
Ooh, lately? Oh, it's been bad. It's been embarrassingly bad. I've been watching Married with Children lately.
oh my gosh.
Right? I don't even know why. I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was a kid, and it would come on after The Simpsons on Sunday nights, and I'd watch parts of it anyway. And I'm like, I'm an adult now, I'm gonna watch it. So I binged like a season of it, and man, some of the stuff you could say back in the day that you just can't get away with now is just like, holy cow! Like, you can't say that. I can't even say that right now on the podcast. Like, it's
right.
But it's funny. I liked Ed O'Neill. The character he played was pretty good, and so I've been stuck watching that. What else have I been watching? We've been watching. Blake just discovered The Office, so we put that back on the TV, and we've been binging The Office. I don't imagine you being an Office person.
I've watched it from start to finish.
Yeah, just once and that's it. You're done.
Yeah, I never watched it when it was on TV. I'm the person that when people are like, you should watch this show, you'd really like it. Those are the shows I usually don't end up watching unless the right people tell me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like it has to be the right people telling me to watch a show that I know watch the same type of stuff I do.
Uh-huh.
And The Office was one of those shows where everybody that was telling me, there was no way I was going to watch it. I'm like, I'm not going to like it. I'm going to hate it. Same thing with Big Bang Theory, which I do like now. But when it first came out and everybody was like, you and Jamie would love this show. This just reminds us of you guys. And we watched like 2 episodes and I kept looking at Jamie going, I don't get it.
You do not remind me of anybody from the Big Bang Theory. I watched that from the beginning and I don't really like it that much, but I'll watch it. I watched The Office when The Office came out, every week I watched it, and it was good up until a certain point, but that is not your show. I just don't see you relating to anything. There's no sticks in the mud.
Yeah. I watched The Office at night because I always have the TV on when I go to bed. So I would watch it at night as I was going to bed, and apparently I didn't enjoy it that much because I would fall asleep. It wasn't something where like I felt like I had to stay awake and see what was going on.
Right.
So that was kind of it was good.
Yeah, you get
I
the jokes
enjoyed
here and
it, but it wasn't. I definitely wouldn't have been the person waiting every week for the next episode to come out.
Yeah, we did because that's just what was on back when we had cable. But binge watching it again with Blake, man, some of the stuff's really smart, but it's just not your cup of tea. The thing that is still my favorite lately, and I don't know, maybe you guys at home will agree with me, is Video Game High School. I watched Video Game High School so many times. I must have watched that series like 3 or 4 times a year.
Really?
Yeah. Did you watch any Video Game High School?
I don't think I watched any of it.
I don't think that's something you like either. It was good. It was put out by Rocket Jump.
Yeah, you've told me about it before, and I think I have it on my list of stuff that I should eventually watch.
I feel like it's not your thing.
I haven't watched it. The other thing I just thought of, the other show that I've been watching on and off, as silly as it is Frasier.
Oh, that's such a good show. I watched that when it came out. I watched Frasier, and it was great. And there's a podcast that Kevin Smith and Myra did it was a Frasier podcast where they watch episodes of Frasier and talk about it. It's so good. So good.
Yeah, we have been watching that.
Yeah, Frasier's a smart show. Like, the writing's really good.
Oh, and the other one we've been watching, which I'm really sad is ending, and I hate that it's ending because now they're like rushing it, is Gotham.
I didn't watch any of the Gotham stuff. I heard it was pretty good.
It's so good.
I hate when they rush it at the end.
It's so sad that it's ending. I mean, at least they know that the season is ending, so they kind of get to clean up the end of it. But like, they're rushing characters, like, and it's to the point now where like I'm guessing right. I'm like, that's Bane. They had this guy and he died, and they started to bring him back to life. And they put this thing on his face, and he talked. And I looked at Jamie. I'm like, "That's gonna be Bane."
It will be if they're pumping stuff into him and stuff. It'll be Bane. Yep.
I'm like, "What's gonna be?" But it was like before they even started pumping stuff into him. Like, you just knew this was gonna be Bane. And then sure enough, she's talking to him, and she's like, "They're gonna blah blah blah, the bane of your existence." I'm like, "Told you." That's Bane.
Is the old school Bane where he has like that lucha libre mask on and?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
that's gonna be cool.
It's been interesting, but like in the beginning of Gotham, like, there was the guy that you thought was going to be the Joker, and you were sure this guy was going to be the Joker, and then he wasn't. And then there was another guy that was like a follower of that guy, and he was going to be the Joker, and then he wasn't.
and
then
the joke was on you.
Oh, I picked out who's Catwoman right away. I mean, that one was pretty easy because her name's Selena, so it's not like that.
Yes.
Hard, but I do that is one series that I really like. But every time we watch it, I want to watch Tim Burton's Batman.
Right.
Every single time I'm like, I just want to watch Batman now. I just want to watch the first Batman.
It was with Michael Keaton where he had the bat suit on where you couldn't move your neck and he had to like turn by his shoulders only.
The one that Tim Burton directed.
Screen Junkies has the every Tim Burton movie. Have you seen that one? It just came out 2 days ago, and
Yes.
yeah, that one was so good, so accurate. He does have such a unique style.
He does. Tim Burton is still my favorite director of all time. I've watched every single movie that Tim Burton has ever put out.
His stuff's good. I didn't mind his
I love
stuff
it.
at all.
I can't wait to see Dumbo.
Yes, I do want to see Dumbo as well. But here's the thing: do we go to the theaters to see Dumbo, or do we just wait a few weeks and just watch it at home? I won't. I mean, if you went to the theater to see it, I would, so we could talk about it. But I don't really need to go to see Dumbo.
I mean,
They're
I don't
plenty.
like our theater in town. I get a better experience at home. And we had
Right.
this conversation quite a few podcasts
Yeah.
ago that Jake makes the best movie theater popcorn at home.
Yeah, so we'll just wait.
So yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, but I do want to see it. The last thing, I just don't want to forget to say this. The last thing that I've been watching with Crystal, and we've been binge watching it, and it's so good and so underrated. Hear me out. It's the Golden Girls.
Oh, I believe it.
Oh my gosh, their jokes are so good. Betty White's
Yeah.
so good. They're all so good. It's so funny. I recommend Golden Girls.
Yeah, that was always an amazing show.
And I watched that too when I was a kid, but I was young when the Golden Girls were coming on. I was, under 10 years old.
Right? So you don't catch the jokes.
Yeah, and now I'm like, holy cow, like you guys were edgy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more of that you can't get away with it these days, so maybe back then it didn't seem as edgy, but man, that show, for a
Yeah.
couple old ladies, that show is so good.
Yeah, I agree. That was always a really good show.
Maybe next week we'll talk about summer movies and what we're going to go see, because a lot of movies are coming out, a lot of good stuff, probably more than we both realize, and I think we should at least figure out how to touch on some of these blockbuster videos. Ooh, I'm old. Blockbuster hits that are coming out.
Right? Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. That could be fun.
So, Allie, thank you for the question. And if you guys at home would like to leave a voice message for us that we can play on the podcast, go to speakpipe.com/ccmousepodcast and leave us a jingle or a voicemail or a voice jingle or a jingle mail. It's up to you.
Somebody's going to send us a singing telegram now.
Don't remember those. Here we go, dating ourselves again.
Right?
All right, guys, that'll wrap up this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast.
Wait. Don't forget to mention the YouTube channel this time.
Ooh, yes. So that'll wrap it up for this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. New to our social media list, and Jess has been working really hard on this, is our YouTube page, where you can go to youtube.com/ what is it?
CC Mouse Podcast. So right now on YouTube, it is just the audio versions of the podcast with a fancy little bar that dances around while we talk. But we wanted to make sure we were getting them up on YouTube, because eventually someday, if we ever do decide to do video, all of the other episodes will be on YouTube. And many of you asked us to put them on YouTube as well.
That'd be so
now you
fun
can
to
find them
do.
there.
It'd be so fun to do some video podcasting.
Yeah, and we could. And we're already enabled to do live streams there. So
Ooh, on Podbean, huh?
we can do live streams on YouTube.
Oh, okay, YouTube. Ooh, that would be easy.
Yeah. So, if we ever get our stuff together and do like a Patreon, we could do like live streams, and
I'm okay with that. We both have the equipment to do it.
we do.
Well, we'll have to see if anybody wants to see that.
Yeah.
So subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/ccmousepodcast. Find us on Facebook at ccmousepodcast, and on our Instagram, which is also ccmousepodcast. So we'll see you guys next week. Same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye.
Bye.
We did a thing.
We did a thing.